So you like chicken?
I love chicken.
That's an inside joke. You had to be there, I guess.
You had to be on the inside, right?
You had to be on the well, you start out on the inside. And then when you come out, it looks like chicken.
I'll have to call him back. He always calls at an inopportune time.
Everybody does. That's how it works. I suspect my phone will start ringing probably any time. Yeah, but it probably won't because nobody ever calls me anyway. And I'm here, so you can't call me. So
Well, I can call you.
You could call me. So anyway, we're here in Oklahoma with our brother Larry, the famous movie star actor guy. He's slightly disturbed.
Slightly?
Well, I'm being nice, you know, because other people are going to see this.
Yeah, medically documented, you know.
Well, you know. We're going to talk to Larry about some of the goofy things he's experienced in the movie business, which he's experienced a lot of goofy things.
Yeah, there's been a lot of goofy things happening.
Yeah.
I'll tell you now, I have to make you come back and watch the show.
Tune in next week.
That's the whole point, right?
Well, yeah, because you always got to wait and tune in next week, you know, to see what happened later. We're having a lot of fun down here, so they're shooting a big, giant movie down here with lots of money that I'm not getting paid.
The Killers of the Flower Moon.
Yeah.
What initially called, they changed the working title, so I was supposed to be called in the end.
Yeah, the working title's Gray Horse. That's what's on my check that they sent me. That's the incorrect amount, which I have to call them and praise hell about. Bastards.
Yeah.
It
You know,
happens.
people make mistakes.
Oh, yeah. I just figured you got all that money, you can pay me more.
I mean, look at your mom and dad.
I know. They made some mistakes. I'm not one of them. It's all them other guys.
I'm just throwing it out there.
Just
You
throwing
can
it
take
out
it any
there.
way you want.
And you met Ron. He's not my brother, but his parents might have made a mistake. So fascinating stuff here with Larry. We have a good time.
We do have a good time here. Every time we get together, we laugh. And, you know, that's what life's about. Is having fun. There are serious moments, you know.
Occasionally.
But the whole point is, you know, even with bad, you always have to do it.
Gotta laugh about it, or
That's right.
it just becomes unbearable.
Yeah. So, I mean, I don't know if this is the lead in to the show.
This is the show. This is the whole deal, man. Yeah, we don't.
15 minutes.
No, yeah.
This is the lead in.
Oh no. Well, we can do that. We can go. Look, it's Wednesday night. Well, it's Wednesday night where you are, but it's not Wednesday night where we are.
No,
It's Sunday afternoon. But when you see this, it'll
I'm
be
getting
Wednesday
ready to go
night.
to church.
Yeah. But yeah, this is just typical of what we do in Oklahoma.
No, we sweat last night. You know, it's like one time I was working on a movie. I think it was Lightning Jack.
Yeah.
I was playing Comanche, and my back was really, really bad. I could barely sit on a horse anyway, you know. And I had to sit on this horse. And here in Oklahoma, we have pretty much a law to train horses. You just kind of pull back on the rein,
And they know what
kind
to
of
do.
sit down, you know.
Yeah.
They got to stop. Because, kind of moving Greenbrook horses, or, you know, you got to lean back, and there's no way I could lean back, you know. So the scene was, you know, I'm supposed to come up, we're supposed to stop on a marker. I rode right through it, you know.
You told me about that.
And then had one of the wranglers get on the horse and poor horse. It wasn't his fault. It was my fault. So I couldn't lean back.
Yeah.
So I had to kind of lean back, which hurt like Dickens. When I did, and we got the scene done, and that's what counted.
Well, yeah, you got it done.
I was working on Pushing the Dead, Sam Elliott, and Cap Shaw, and Tom Conti, and in this script I had in the scene, I was supposed to be writing in, and we're maybe 6 or 7 months along the way, and we in my scene in my script, I had this lance forget knife. Supposed to throw it and stick this guy's hat, Tom Conti's hat.
Yeah.
He's supposed to be acting crazy.
Yeah. He's the preacher guy.
Well, they didn't tell me before that they had changed the scene where I wasn't supposed to throw the lance in. They have 2 hats, one to throw that and the good one.
Yeah.
Well, that was the good one.
Not anymore.
And I put a cut in about that wide, which was wide as the lance. And they said, well, then they told me that, hey, we changed the scene. The script, you get the script change.
Yeah.
In my script, it says this. So they said, well, now we got to shoot it again. Can you think you can get that same hole? Holy crap. Of course, you go, yeah, we need that hole. So we shoot it again, we ride in, and I threw that. I wasn't even looking, and I threw that lance into that hat. Hit it in the same hole. Extended it about that far. And they were all amazed, And I was more surprised than anybody, Oh, crap, hit that hole, And then they had to do an insert of me just above the hat, putting the lance in. It had to go in that hole.
Yeah.
I said, think you hit that hole again? And well, I'll give it a shot. Let's see where it lands. I'll be darned. I was sitting above there, and I threw that thing, and it hit the exact same hole. And they thought I was just badass with that lance.
Look at him. He's a pro.
They're like, God damn, this guy's good.
Is that the movie?
I said, I'm better at a moving target.
Military training. Is that the one where they told you had to ride up and act angry and say something in Lakota and you said...
Yeah, Tom Conti's acting crazy.
Yeah, and you just said...
We just came from Custer Battleground there. Greasy Grass, Billy Custer, and Kate Cabshaw's, I don't know, was her brother or, the old lady in it was her son.
Yeah.
He was from Custer. Well, we just killed her brother. But we're asking for food,
Yeah.
Anyway, that was Louis L'Amour's Pushing the Dead.
Yeah.
It wasn't.
Not the other one.
Not the other one.
Gene Hackman.
I've never seen the other one.
I've seen it. It's a pretty good cowboy movie. Yeah.
Anyway, but then, throughout time, I was around the way. It was really hard to sit on that horse,
Oh, yeah.
And you ride bareback.
Bouncing. Yeah.
And, but even that horse, you pull back with it, and that horse would sit down.
Yeah, you knew what to do.
Yeah, so it really made me look good, I'd be in the mud, and he'd sit down and we'd just slide, sideways like I really knew it.
That's how it's supposed to look. It's supposed to look like you know.
Yeah.
Is that the one where you had to say something where you would come up and say, let's do it?
No, that was a cheesy, low-budget western out in Arizona. Man, this Navajo guy, he was doing stunts. Guard comes up and says, give this guy something to say. What do you give him something to say? Well, give him something in the Indians, And so we talked about it. And Navajo, he wouldn't be able to get it, so do a little photo, you know. So we tell the guy, you know, hey, when you, and the scene was he's supposed to ride up on his horse, you know, with these cavalry officers. You know, sit the horse down, look at him real mean, and say something and ride off.
Yeah.
That's when, you know, when you get up there and you say something, you look at those guys as mean as you can and as angry as you can. You say, no, okay, no, go back to the local. You know, boy, he practiced it all afternoon. Finally came time to shoot it. And he did it. It sounded pretty good. And this dumb guy, you know, we just started laughing. And next day at Dailies we were watching it. Yeah, I really love it. And we started laughing again. And said, what did he say? We was looking at the army officer, you know, doing 2 or 4. Right, so. Look, I mean, you know, and I always use that 2 or 4 as an audition piece. In some of the movies, you know, they don't want to pay a translator.
Yeah.
So they get people speaking a language and ask them what it means, and they'll want to use that for the film. So they don't have to pay anybody. So I always use, you know, new ball king, number king, number 2. You know, I can say it, you know, like I'm heartbroken, or really angry, or just really, really happy, you know. You know, so, you know, it became a good standby piece for an audition. Say something different. Okay, no So anyway, that was that's what I did. And then I had one guy, he called me up and said, how do you say this in this language? Man. So I translated. He said, how do you say this in this language? I said, look, you know, I don't know what you're doing. Who the hell are the people you're getting paid for this? And I give you the translations, you take it back, and you get paid for it.
And I'm not getting no money.
I'm not getting anything.
Yeah.
I said, you know, buy a damn Lakota dictionary.
Yeah.
And then, you know, and figure out how to say it.
Well, yeah.
So, but you know, it's like, man, there's some crazy dumb things that happen. You know, I mean, it's just all kinds of weird things. You know. It's so hard to explain weird things on a movie set.
Yeah, because it's all
everything
weird.
is kind of weird, you know.
Yeah.
Because you know you're in an alternate reality there.
Well, just the few minutes I spent going through wardrobe, that was really weird. Having somebody else dress you.
Yeah.
It's just weird. Yeah. And she was really attractive, so that made it a little weirder, but it was fun. Yeah. I'm looking forward to next week when I get to come down here and really see weird.
Yeah, well, you know, they'll be shooting there.
Yeah, it'll
When
be.
you get to the train station.
Yeah, it's gonna be fun.
Bring your train with you. So
Yeah, I got a harmonica. I can do a train whistle on a harmonica. I'll probably wait till like the last day, so if they fire me, I still get paid.
well, they may not get paid then.
Yeah.
But, sound like a Mack truck, you know.
I could probably fake that.
Anyway, that's just one or two few funny things that I've had to think about. And I've got some personal comments about some things that I'll keep to myself.
It's okay, we don't mind.
You know, they don't like me anyway, so
Yeah, you know. We've offended a few people, I'm sure, in the course of doing this. So.
well, there's no saying it's better be pissed off than pissed off.
That's right. We're good at that.
I can do both.
We have experience. Well,
So we're sitting out in front of my place now, on the front door. Larry's house in sexual excess.
yeah, that would be fun.
But then, you know, the community here is pretty fundamentalist.
Yeah,
I don't think they find it funny.
they probably
They
would.
have weird sense of humor.
Yeah, Yeah, I know. They're just kind of, well, like the girl that came by talking about Bible studies.
Yeah.
The end of the world, and you know.
But it's always somebody else's interpretation and not yours.
Well, yeah, it's not. I don't think it's based in reality, but you know.
Well, I have a whole bunch of comments.
I know we talked about it. All right.
But yeah, I mean, there's a lot of good things that have happened. You know, a lot of funny things, a lot of weird things. You know.
Well, you've got to meet lots of interesting people.
Yeah.
You know, who you might not otherwise get to meet over the years.
Well, I tell you, I really wasn't impressed with any of them. You know.
Well, yeah.
Maybe Dalai Lama, but yeah.
Well, that would be it.
And I was at the White House. You know,
Yeah.
and see it, a function for the Clintons, and
Yeah.
they were in office.
Well, that would really be something neat to do.
Yeah, I mean, you know, I took pictures with Hillary and them, you know, and they said, "Oh, we'll send them to you in the mail." I have yet to get them. You know, but then again, I'm in good company. I'm not the first Indian that's been like it in the White House.
That's right. And not the last.
I won't be the last.
Well, I don't know. Deb Hamplin's in there now. It might be better.
Well,
they're still gonna lie.
that's still a lie.
They're still gonna lie.
I just say honest white guy, you
Honest
know,
white guy.
which we know there aren't any. But, you know,
Oh, we know. And one of these days, when we get a lot of money saved up, Larry's gonna open the White Man Museum.
Yeah,
It's gonna have all kinds.
yeah.
It's gonna have all kinds of neat stuff. We might do some archaeological digs in some local cemeteries.
Yeah.
Things like that.
Well, just like the sweat last
the
night,
shoes,
you know,
yeah.
the lettering on the sweat rocks,
Yeah.
you know, well, that came from the graveyard right over there.
Oh, right. Oh, well,
Yeah.
I kind of thought it
Yeah.
did because it had that guy's
You
name
know,
on
all
it.
those rocks are just laying around.
Yeah, we
you know.
just find them.
Yeah,
And they're good rocks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You break them up.
You gotta break them up a
Yeah.
little bit because they're big. But I don't think they'll miss them.
That's right.
You know, they're gone. Nobody's gonna know.
That's right.
They glow when they get hot too, and you can
Yeah.
see the words really well.
But you know, I mean, you know, like they're doing the movie here, and it's about the murders and killings of 6 people during the 20s, you know, when they're, for their oil money
Yeah.
and head rights and land and stuff. And people were dying all over the place here, not only
Oh yeah.
because of the explosions and the killings.
Poisonings.
The poison doctors were poisoning people,
Yeah.
you know. You know, it was also during the time, about the time of the Asian flu, not the Asian flu,
The Spanish flu. Yeah.
but at the same time, you know, they could be murdered, and they was always due to the flu,
You got the flu. Yeah.
you know, and nobody would know any difference.
Yeah.
The
So
doctors,
there's probably no
Very good.
real solid number of how many people.
you know, and there's some, you know, big ranchers around here that, you know, act like they, you know, really worked hard to get where they are, you know. but,
Really didn't.
You know, stolen in land and money, and
Yeah.
you know, became wealthy
Wealthy
ranchers.
because off of the death of people who really owned it.
Yeah, or they cheated it out of them.
Yeah. Well, like the butchers in Kansas City.
Yeah, the
Butcher shop.
the slaughterhouse.
Slaughterhouse. Yeah.
Yeah, they have 14 head rights.
Yeah.
You know, why would a slaughterhouse be 14 head rights?
Yeah.
You know, so,
And in Kansas City.
yeah.
Yeah. The Osage haven't been there for what? 100 years
100
roughly.
years,
Well, 1824, 18. Yeah.
yeah, but you know, and spiritually, a lot of the people around here don't believe it anymore. When they recreate those situations, when they call those people's names, they're calling them back to this
Yeah.
dimension. And unfortunately, they suffer those deaths over and over.
Yeah, we've talked a lot about
But
that.
they don't want to recognize that, because to them, it's not within their spiritual belief, that's fine. But it does happen, and at the same time, it's not them directly that pay for it; it's their descendants.
Yeah.
That pay for it because those people they were fine and sent over in a good way when it happened. Even though the death was hideous, they were sent over in a good way, and they were living a good life where they came from.
Yeah.
And now they have no way to get them back because they don't believe that way anymore.
Right. They don't know.
So, and I tried to encourage them to do something about it. And because they're afraid of what I do. And, the first thing comes out of my mouth, it's not OC.
Yeah.
Of course, then again,
But it is.
Maybe in the 80s, 90s, in the 80s when I first started Sundance, everybody was screaming and hollering at me around here.
Oh, yeah.
And then talked about sweating again. Osages don't sweat. Okay.
Yeah.
And how they purified themselves.
Read the book.
Came back to camp after a war party.
Yeah.
Conflict.
Well, there's some sites in Missouri, about 100 miles south of me, roughly, maybe not quite that far. It's the last Osage village in Missouri.
I know where you're talking about.
Yeah, by Eldorado Springs.
Yeah.
And
now, at my age, I might have sweat there when I was
might
a
have,
little boy.
and I think maybe I right where I met you. We were little guys. But yeah, but the people down here don't want to know about that because they are afraid of those old ways. Yeah.
And their reasoning is, our elders don't put that stuff away.
Yeah.
But there are reasons why those things happen, and historically and culturally, there are reasons why they told them that. Not just because they were afraid of them, but just because a lot of the elders did, doesn't mean everybody did.
Right, and maybe they didn't mean put it away forever.
No.
Put it away for this time because right now our current situation is not allowing us to do those things.
One of the ceremonies that they did, they had to have all the clans. They had sayings from each of the clans.
Yeah.
We didn't have those clans anymore. Some of them died out due to disease and things like that, due to conflicts between other native nations and, government, French and Spanish. Things happen, and, you understand how they got to where they are.
Yeah.
And you can't get mad at it. You just have to realize that and understand that.
Yeah.
And then you look at things differently. The problem is that they get angry when you bring it up, the concept of forced assimilation, forced acculturation, forced Christianization, and colonization.
Yeah.
I'm always telling people, decolonize your mind.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean we have to go back and live
in the old ways.
The way we did, because we can't.
Well, yeah, there's.
I'm colonized to a degree. I've got the sacred Tahoe over here.
Yeah.
But nonetheless, it's the values.
It's your mental
values that you have to remove that are Euro-Christian, that hurt us.
Yeah.
Those concepts really do not benefit indigenous peoples.
No.
But everybody can make their own choice, and you have to respect that.
Yeah.
You can't get angry at it. But down the line, it can be their children, their grandchildren. A lot of younger people are
coming around.
They're coming around and asking questions, and at the same time, we don't have those issues. I think we're one of the few native nations that doesn't have history class about ourselves.
Yeah.
Because
they have a language class.
Because they were afraid of, the cultures before.
Yeah.
They've been taught to be afraid of that.
Well, because and they're afraid of it because they don't understand it. You know?
Well, yeah, but
Yeah.
I mean, that's what they've been taught.
Yeah.
Whether it was in boarding school, whether it was VIA or denomination boarding school.
Yeah.
You know, my mother went to boarding school out here, and they wouldn't let the kids go home until that break came between the individual and the family.
Yep.
And then the kids thought, well, my parents don't love me because we're watching all these other kids go home and I can't go home. They're not coming to pick me up, but they
Right.
wouldn't allow them to pick me
And
up.
the kids didn't know that.
But
The kids
then,
weren't
but
aware
then
that
they'd
they
send them
couldn't come and
home,
get them.
and they were kind of put in a position to look down upon their parents, their grandparents, their
Right.
culture and way of life.
Well, yeah.
You
We're
know.
taught, oh, the people are ignorant. They don't know nothing.
Yeah.
We're educating you.
And there are other aspects that goes way back in our history that you know, people want to hang on to. And they say, well, we chose them. And the biggest sign of colonization is when, throughout the world, is when people who are saying that are you know, always saying, well, we chose
We
them.
chose that. Well, and a good
That's
example.
a good red flag.
A good example is South Africa.
Yeah.
Because those people now are so colonized that
They're trying to figure out how to live on their own now.
they're trying to figure it out, but a lot of them are still stuck in that way of, oh, this is how it's got to be.
Yeah.
You know, there are some communities over there that are being able to uncolonize themselves.
That's right.
And live their traditional ways. But here it's hard because you don't have the land base and the resources to do that, you know. And our country's set up different. So.
Well, I mean, when we moved here, this was our land to begin with.
Yeah.
But then
Yeah, this
we
is
had
part of
to
those things.
secede this land, you know, and then by forestry,
Yeah.
and then Cherokees lived here, which it was given to them. But when we moved down here, we had to buy it from the Cherokees.
Right.
And the Rez that from
Right.
Kansas, and
We talked about that.
And when you buy something, you know, it's not a reservation, it's not land set aside by the government. We own it.
Yeah, you have.
So
We
the
talked
only
about
way-
the title and deed.
The only way you can steal from the body of people is break it down and individualize it. That's what they did with the 1906
The
Act.
allotment stuff. Yeah.
Not the General Allotment Act, but the 1906 Allotment Act, the Osages.
Yeah.
You know, and that's what. But then we got some people say, "Oh, that's the greatest thing that ever happened to us." They don't know the history. They don't know the things that took place in order for that to take place and the ramifications from it.
Right.
You know, George Manning, and he was the head of the Department of the Interior. He made a speech to Congress, and he was telling them, you know, all these civilized natives is we have to change their moral ways. Their value based is to say I instead of we,
Yeah.
me instead of us, and mine instead of ours.
Right. You get rid of the community
That's right.
where everybody
And-
helps
and-
everybody.
And for us, that's kind of what has happened
Yeah.
to a large degree because every time you turn around, it's fine.
Yeah.
You know? And that's why I keep telling people, decolonize your mind, decolonize your mind. You know, that doesn't mean you have to give up what you believe or how you function.
Well, yeah. You don't got to sell your house and leave the woods.
Think differently.
Yeah. You look at the world differently.
Well, you deal with the government differently.
Yeah.
You know, because you're thinking more in terms of native group terms rather than individual concepts of the white government.
I've had that discussion with some of my board members. And I'm on the board in my city back home. You know. I tricked into it. I told them, you know, you guys look at this in the wrong way.
That's called forced military.
It is, I know. They forced me to do it. But I told them, you know, you're looking at this the wrong way. This is a community. Instead of it's my everything, it's a community. We need all to work together.
Absolutely.
So it's better for everyone, and it's not just better for Elmer Fudd over here, it's better for everyone.
Yeah.
It's real hard to get people to do that, you know.
I agree.
And being the only native person in my city makes it even harder, you know.
I agree. Yeah.
Because they don't have that. I think they have the capability, but they don't have the desire to think that way, you know.
Well, I mean, you know, the problem is society is set up. Everybody kind of ultimately going to be narcissists.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, because you work for yourself, you work for everything,
Yeah.
and that's fine.
Well, yeah.
I'm not going to disagree with that. You know?
Well, yeah. You work and get
but,
stuff.
But you know, it's like it's mine. That's not to say that there aren't people out there that have stuff that help other people.
That's right.
But the numbers are few.
Small.
They're the population.
Well, I try to explain to them about giveaway, why people do that, and it's hard to comprehend that. You know, when you give all your stuff away, well, some people have.
Well, it's
know?
like it's like some of the books that when they talk about native ceremonies, they call the leaders or the people in position priests.
Yeah.
We have no priests.
Right.
We never had priests.
No.
But and in a sense, you say priest, you're envisioning the concept and understanding of Christian white priest, white, could be Spanish, could be Mexican. But the concept of and what they're the priests are supposed to do,
right?
How they should conduct themselves. And they would say, well, they bought that position, and it's not a matter of buying the position. It's a matter of you give this stuff away to acknowledge the importance of it and to give thanks for being put in that position. It's not like buying it.
No, you're giving it away
as a sign of
respect. A sign of respect to all those other people who helped you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So and so it's hard to like Francis LaFleche, he did a lot of studying while I was here and documenting. People want to interpret they're using white Euro-Christian concepts to understand a concept
it's foreign to them.
They can't understand because they have no understanding of those traditional values.
Well, yeah, where you give stuff away no one went hungry, no one was without help. Everybody got food, whether you could hunt or fish or not. If you were hurt or injured, somebody took care of you. If you were old, they took care of you. It's an entirely different culture. Getting people to understand it fully.
Yeah, and most generational housing homes were, always in play.
Yeah.
And America acts like, now they have multi-generational house, families. Oh my God, what are we gonna do? It's like that's the way indigenous peoples have always been.
Well, yeah, you had your extended family was close.
Yeah.
Not the same
spot. Your clan,
Yeah. So you always had lots of grandmas, grandpas, and aunts and uncles.
Never had an orphan.
Never. Yeah. And they no one warehouses their old people. Or put them out on an ice floe. Hey, you're old, see you later.
We're done. I'm tired taking care of you.
We're leaving you behind. And there was some TV show that was on at home. Gunsmoke or something. No, it wasn't as much fun. I think it was a rifleman or something. I keep the TV on for the dogs, and they like westerns. They like the horses, I think. But there's this white guy who the Apache or somebody took him. The camp was moving, and he's like the last guy, trailing him. And he comes across this old woman, she's laying there on the ground. And it's like, what happened, Oh, well, I'm old, they left me here. It's, oh, no, that ain't right. He embraced the right way to do things.
The white savior.
Well, the white savior, yeah. But that didn't happen. People didn't leave old people out on the prairie to die. Unless they didn't like them or something, maybe.
Well, I mean, situations, circumstances change all the time, so.
Yeah.
We can't say for a fact that that never happened.
Well, it might have, yeah.
You know, but that wasn't the way the culture was designed.
Yeah, it wasn't common practice, yeah.
So,
The lightsaber. Like the Sitting Bull movie we watched.
yeah. Oh my God.
That was hard to watch. But, you know, somebody made some money.
Well, that was the whole point. Of the
That was
movie.
the point, yeah, make some money.
And I think the main female character, she did a great job.
She was a good actress.
But well, Jessica Chastain, yeah, she was a great
Yeah.
actress. But the I don't know who the cultural advisors were, or
If they had them.
anything, or if they went according to the book. I don't recall hearing a book name. You know, she walks in.
Yeah.
You know, the reason, and traditionally around like the man always walked first, and the woman walked second. Is when you're walking through the brush and stuff.
Well, that's to protect them.
Yeah, but it's always the first person that picks up the rattlesnake.
Yeah.
Like the second.
Well, it's like when you're in the woods. You don't got to be faster than the bear.
Just the person
You
next
got
to
to be
you.
faster than the guy with you.
Yeah.
Jerry, remember that when we're in the woods.
You got that one right.
The bear is going to eat you.
Yes. Yes. I want to eat a whole lot more garlic, see if that works.
Yeah, probably not.
Oh, darn it.
It would just be flavoring.
Darn it.
Get some of them bear bells so we can find you later. Ah. Well, I guess we'll wrap it up. It's an interesting time talking to you. We have so much fun. And then we'll see you next Wednesday after this Wednesday, or whatever Wednesday it's going to be, because I don't know. I lose track of all these Wednesdays. So.
I do too.
Yeah. They just, I don't
You
even know
know,
what day it is.
COVID, you just leave, you know, sitting around doing, well, of course I did stuff, you know, and then you do research and everything. But you lose days.
You do.
I always wound up losing a day. You know, what day is this? Because I'm not going out to work. I'm not,
Yeah.
you know, I'm just here.
Well, and it's gotten worse since I quit watching my grandkids.
Yeah.
Because I knew what days I had to be there. I
Because
might
of
not know if it
school
was
days.
Tuesday or Wednesday, but I knew that Monday and Friday I had to be there for those days. But now I don't, so I'm like, what day is it? It's,
Yeah.
Yeah. But
So-
I'm old and retired, so who cares?
So as they say in the movies, happy trails to you till we meet. No, it wasn't. That's a TV show. But,
That was Roy Rogers. Happy trails to you.
and Dale and them were up in Apple Valley, California.
Yeah.
And at one time she was I've been in that transportation.
You're dead.
But you know, that group of ladies wanted their football team was called Apple Valley Sun Devils.
Yeah.
They just hated that name.
Oh, the Sun Devils.
And so the ladies of the community decided to come back home Happy Apples.
Happy apples.
Football team wasn't going to play at that. He played under the name Happy Apples.
Yeah. Happy apples. Well, down here, in Indian country, happy apples has a whole different meaning.
That's right.
Means you're red on the outside, but white on the inside. At least you're happy though.
Well, I've got
You know.
about the reservation. I call this a reservation. It's not a reservation. It's our national homelands, you know. And they got big signs coming in.
Oh yeah.
So, yeah. Love to go see reservation. And
Yeah.
I want to put underneath it, or apple orchard, or apple orchard,
The Osage apple orchard. Well, paint's cheap, and I got to go buy that sign on the way out. So,
Yeah, we talked about that earlier a few times, man. We were going to go out there and paint that.
Well, it won't be my fault then.
Hey, I don't know what happened. You know, I'm the kind of guy that'll
I'll
after
wait
I
till the statute of limitation runs out on my other stuff.
yeah, oh yeah, we don't get in trouble. I'm the kind of guy that after I paint the sign, I'll get about 20 miles down the road and call the cops. Hey, somebody's painting that sign. Try to get it on the news, you know. All right, is that good? All right, well, we'll see you next time. From Paul Huska, Oklahoma, it's amazing Larry Sellers.
Keep it all day.